Welcome back to Bull Sessions here on 680 KFEQ. You can email your questions or comments to bull@willcross.net. Once again, here's Randy Baker and agronomist Brad Law.
Okay, we're back to Bull Sessions, 680 KFEQ. Bradley, Miles,
Riding
Randy.
the three amigos, the three stooges.
Musketeers.
We are going to ad-lib a show today, aren't we?
Well, you know, when things, plans change. And
they do. And
here's a great example. Let's say you were planning on something on let's say you're planning on corn. You're going to go this field of corn, and somebody had a sprayer mistake, got in the wrong field, and you sprayed that field with burn down for beans.
That don't happen, does it?
Okay, it's not the end of the world. We can deal with that. Let's get some and switch that field over to beans. We can take that corn order. If you had some Agrigo corn booked, we can drop that off. We'll go back and we'll get you some Willcross soybeans to go on that field. So we can work with our customers. When changes happen, we adapt. You know, hey, I wasn't going to... I was going to plant this field today and come in and get my seed in the morning, but hey, Randy, I called you. I'm not going to make it in. We adapt. Maybe we can run it out to you. Maybe we can't. We'll just see what's going on and we'll roll with the flow.
I could see you spraying your corn or killing it on with something.
No.
You would. I'd have to shoot you. You'd be plumb nuts, wouldn't you?
No.
Yeah, you
would. Well,
would.
we do have a bean of the week.
What is it?
Our bean of the week is the 7350.
Yes. That has been an excellent bean for us for years.
It has. It's 3.5 maturity. It is a gray bean. It gets about 37 inches tall.
Yeah.
It is a medium bush.
Yep.
It is an STS bean.
That's a big deal.
So that's that synchrony herbicide. And sometimes if you sprayed something on your wheat and you want to go double crop soybeans, STS is kind of a big deal there. And I got down here. You know who, when I think of that bean, the first person I think of?
I think I do. Richard Cool.
Richard Cool up at Henderson, Iowa.
Yeah, I do too.
He is a deal. If you've ever been to a tractor pull, you might have seen him go down the track.
Yeah.
But we like Richard up there at Henderson, and he's grown that bean, I think, every year since it's come out, and he's had some real good luck with it.
Oh,
and
I paid dearly with him for that. He still talks about that.
He hated them until he got the combine in them, and then they did awesome.
Oh, he called me mad. What did you give me this thing for? It stayed green, he thought, and all of his people was out there. He said it averaged 73 bushel. I said, well, you don't want that back again, do you? He said, every acre I'm going to plant next year is going to be that bean. But it was new then, and he wasn't used to it. So, but it's been
gets along good
consistent. We got a lot of guys, Southern Iowa, even right there around our neck of the woods. We got guys planting.
It is a consistent soybean.
Early maturity.
Well, a little early.
Yeah,
3.5 is not bad. Oh, well, we are going to talk about spraying today.
Yeah.
Now, do you spray?
You smell like a sprayer. Did I mention that?
Randy, do you do much spraying around?
I spray for bugs around the house.
You do? Do you rotate chemistries each month when you spray?
Let me tell you what I did the other day.
What did you do?
I didn't even spray. I had a 2.5 gallon jug of 2,4-D. Been sitting there in the garage for years. I was kind of cleaning out the old garage a little bit. And
you're going to do something that was off-label.
I had a bunch of thistles starting to grow out back behind the shed. I thought, I don't know if that's any good or not anyway. So I just went out there and I glugged that whole straight 2,4-D.
And now the EPA is headed to Northwest Fairview Road.
No, this was 3 weeks ago and the whole place still reeks of 2,4-D. Because we had a bunch of rain on top of that.
Well, a pint of 2,4-D LV6 will do an acre.
Yeah. What about 2.5 gallons in about 20 foot by 4 wide?
Your 2.5 gallon, that's there's 8 pints in a gallon. That's 20 pints, Randy.
What do you think?
That's about 20 acres worth.
You ought to see back there, though.
I'm kind of surprised that Randy isn't like radioactive today, that he's not glowing. Or
Well, Miles, I got away from it. I sprayed it and run, or glugged it and run.
Okay.
But it looks like a desert back there now.
Okay, here's a good example of why people should follow the labels.
Yes.
Okay, and all these jugs have the labels printed on them.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull them off, and sometimes that doesn't work out too well because the labels smell like chemical, and you want to bring it in to the kitchen table and read it, and the wife probably doesn't like that too much. You can now go online and search whatever chemical that is, label, and you'll find a PDF file where you can bring that up on the computer and read it.
What if a guy don't have a computer?
Well, you can do it on your smartphone.
What if he don't have a smartphone?
Well, then he's going to have to sit in the truck and read the label off the jug.
There you go. That works too. We still got a lot of guys that don't do all the technology stuff.
Okay.
I happen to be maybe one of them.
Well, you can sit in your pick-em-up truck.
I've got a smartphone now.
And you can read that label and actually understand what we're doing. And
very important. With the chemistry we have nowadays, it's so powerful and potent. And I think those old days of glugging, like I still did the other day, we got to quit that.
Well, let's say you planted the 7350.
Mm-hmm.
It's a, blight-tolerant soybean,
Mm-hmm.
and you put down a good pre-program, and then you were going to come back and you were getting ready to post-spray your soybeans. We want to post-spray these weeds when they are, 2 to 4 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to have the sprayer out there then, not call the sprayer or get the sprayer ready when they're 2 to 4 inches.
No, yeah, you want to be
on it and out there then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we look at there and we say, well, hopefully we know better that we're not just going to throw Roundup in the tank and expect to kill everything.
Yeah.
We're going to start
That won't happen.
We're going to start tank mixing some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
An easy thing, to tank mix in is a chemical called Prefix. It's a Syngenta product.
Mm-hmm.
And Prefix is like Flexstar and Dual put together. Mm-hmm. And the thing we got to watch from that label on the Flexstar is it has a 10-month rotational interval to corn.
That's important to know.
That is important.
We've had disasters with that, with people using that.
We've went out there and say, what are these white stripes in my corn?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Flomasafe and carryover.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got to do that 10-month count and say, oh, that's, that's too quick, or, we just got to watch it and plan. Let's say if you didn't want to put the Flexstar in there, but you wanted another burner herbicide like that, you could look at Cobra or Ultra Blazer.
Mm-hmm.
Some people throw a little...
Blazer been around a long time.
Ultra Blazer has been.
Cobra's been around a long time.
So those are some of the burner herbicides. And what I like to do is put something like, the other part of that prefix is that Dual. Dual is a Group 15, and it is corn and soybean friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Well, it does not kill emerged weeds, but you can spray it on emerged soybeans, and that residual goes down, and it prevents more small-seeded broadleafs like tall water, hemp, and pigweeds from coming up, and other grasses. So, you're getting that longer residual out of the deal. So, you did your you got your first round in, then a month or so later, we're getting round 2 in and clearing out to prevent weeds as well as kill them. Then you got your Roundup to hopefully kill what the Flexstar doesn't. You got your grasses and throw a little bit of Select in there if you've got Roundup Ready volunteer
What's
corn.
a little bit? Now, how do you stay on label when you're doing this witch's brew?
A little bit. I think, what is it? I don't like the minimum on the Select. You're going to make me go off of memory. Is like,
all right.
I don't remember, we didn't even plan for this show like this. So
Well,
I think it is.
Keep talking. We can't have no dead space in here.
6 to 10 ounces maybe is the label, and I'm
maybe.
This is why you got to consult the label, Randy, because this is what really happens. Well, we sprayed this last year. How much did we put in? Was it this much or was it that much? Just read the label, okay? It's on the jug that you're going to pour in, and it will say this is the rate. And you're like, okay. And you got to remember pints, quarts, ounces, and,
Gallons.
You know,
need some
okay,
water in there too, don't you?
how many, if this takes a quart to the acre and we're mixing a 30-acre batch, that's 7.5 gallon. That's 3 2.5s.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that math right there.
Yeah.
We've done that enough that we know, there we go. If we need to put a pint on for my 30-acre mix of a product, that's an easy one. That is a 2.5 and half of a 2.5.
There you go. Which is?
I just know that I got to put half the jug in.
Glug. I just forgot the water in my concoction.
You forgot the water.
Yeah. Well, I was too lazy. It was 20 feet away. I had to go.
But, all these labels and everything is available. Mm-hmm. And if you're, a lot of guys have already purchased their chemical.
Local co-ops would have it if you lost your labels. And you didn't do technology.
And ask somebody, and there is so many different products and different brand names with the same active ingredient. We've got to look that up and say, oh, yeah. And there is no shame saying, I have to look at the label. Because I've had guys call me and ask me, and I said, oh, I think it's this, but I've got to look at the label or I'll tell you wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to tell somebody wrong.
Okay, that's fine.
You don't want to tell somebody wrong.
But we want to spray the weeds when they're small, 2 to 4 inches, and we want them to be actively growing.
And do we got to spray everything on banker's hours?
Well, ideally with Liberty we should.
We do Liberty for sure.
And, Randy, Miles is hollering at us.
No.
We just been having so much fun talking about chemicals that we're going to have to get out of here and get back.
Okay, well, we have to take another short break, according to Miles and Bradley. And when we come back, more with Bradley and Miles, Our Lady in Ag, Focus on the Farmer. You are listening to Bull Sessions, 680 KFEQ.